You're watching Pick of the Flicks with Tony Douglas, and welcome to the John Wayne Western Archives, an exclusive web series where I shine the spotlight on John's illustrious Western filmography. In this episode, we reflect on Fort Apache, the first film in John Wayne's critically acclaimed trilogy of cavalry westerns. The three films were directed by John Ford and released in 3 consecutive years. Fort Apache in 1948, co-starring Henry Fonda, She Wore a Yellow Ribbon in 1949, co-starring Joanne Drew, and Rio Grande in 1950, co-starring Maureen O'Hara. Despite being looked upon as a trilogy, it must be said that John Wayne starred as a different character in each of the 3 films. In Fort Apache, Wayne plays Kirby York, an honourable war captain who faces conflict when his regiment is placed under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Owen Thursday, played by Henry Fonda, a glory-hungry warmonger with no respect for the Indians. Fort Apache marks the film debut of John Agar, a character actor who would go on to work with Wayne in another 5 films during the next 23 years. Agar was always grateful for the wonderful support that Wayne gave him when he was a young, inexperienced actor. Agar once said, "I would go to hell and back for Duke." It is interesting to note that Agar's wife at the time was 19-year-old Shirley Temple, who also appeared in Fort Apache as Henry Fonda's daughter, Philadelphia. In the film, Agar plays a second lieutenant who falls in love and marries Shirley Temple, a perfect example of life imitating art. It has been rumoured that director John Ford didn't get along with Shirley Temple and often criticised her acting and lack of education. Ford also made life difficult for her husband John Agar, often referring to him as Mr. Temple, while heavily criticising him for the way he delivered his lines and rode his horse. On the other hand, director John Ford got along really well with the Indians. He cast about 300 Navajo men, women and children to play Apaches. He respected their work ethic and found them to be very dependable. In fact, Ford has been quoted as describing the Navajos as natural-born actors. Fort Apache was a lavish production for its time, costing in excess of $2.8 million, of which John Wayne, Henry Fonda and Shirley Temple each netted a cool $100,000. They even built a fort especially for the movie. The fort stood for many years after the production wrapped and was reused in dozens of productions, including the popular TV Western series The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin, that starred Lee Aker and James Brown. Finally, I'll wrap up today's Fort Apache movie talk with a classic quote from John Wayne made about director John Ford's talent. Wayne stated, "When he pointed the camera, he was painting with it." Time now for you to have your say. Have you seen Fort Apache? And if so, what do you think of the movie? More importantly, how well does this John Wayne performance rank in his Western catalogue? We want to know your thoughts, so please have your say in the comments below. Also, for more John Wayne Western Archives, be sure to subscribe to this channel. Until next time, this is Tony Douglas, talking movies for Pick of the Flicks. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.